Okay, so let me tell you about my dad a little bit. He was pretty stinking awesome. When I was really little, like probably 3 or 4 years old, too young to be able to ride these things, he would bring home these old dirt bikes, these little mini bikes we'd call mini bikes, and it looked like he had pulled them out of either the bottom of a lake or a local dump. Yeah, they were not in good shape. They were rusty. They were missing tires. They had bent handlebars, all sorts of crazy things messed up. They did not run at all. Didn't look like they would ever run again. And I know he got them for free because then he would spend, I don't know how long, weeks, months, fixing them up. And they looked brand new. He'd put like new tires on them and fix the handlebars and brakes, get that engine running. And then he was a pretty big dude, so he would jump on this thing. Wah, 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 wah. Actually, the accelerator's over here. Wah, 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 wah. And he was like 240 pounds, 6'1", on this little tiny mini bike that maybe, you know, a kid should have been riding. And then he would sell them. And I was always just so impressed on how he fixed those up. However, it didn't translate necessarily into everything, because I'd be at the mall with him when I was like 14, and I'd be like, Dad, can I get this new tennis racket? I'm taking tennis lessons now. Can I have a new racket? The old one's just really old. And he's like, nah, I can make that. We can make that at home. And he'd say that with everything. Anything I wanted to buy at a store, he would be like, nah, we can make that. And I'm thinking, we can't make that, Dad. Some things you just don't make. And I'm going somewhere with this. And here's the point, is that he did make a lot of things. In his defense, he made our picnic table. He made all the picture frames in our house. My mom used to do oil painting. He made the lamps, all out of wood. He made a ton of really cool stuff for us in our home. But just because you can buy, and so here's what it is. Here's where I'm trying to get with making and buying and stuff, is that buying the stuff doesn't necessarily create the art. Because what we're going to talk about today is materials. And it's so easy to get caught up in this thinking that, oh, I need the perfect paper, I need the perfect pen, I need the perfect whatever. And it's the reason I talk about my dad is he had that spirit of, I don't need anything, I can make it. And we're not going to make anything today. I think it's important to buy stuff because we're not in an age where we make our shoes by ourselves or our art supplies necessarily. But you can learn a lot by just getting art supplies and knowing that the art is in here. The art is in your heart. The supplies are just the resource that get it out into the world. So there's not one magic bullet when you get art supplies. You can try new stuff, and that's what we're going to do today. I'll show you what I use, but it's been a long journey to what I'm using now, and that may not be what I'm using in the future. It's really just about getting stuff, trying it over and over and over until you feel so comfortable with it that you feel like you could make it. And maybe you even think of ways to make it better. And yeah, so that's it. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you the papers, the pens, everything, ink that I use for what I do. And then you can try them out. I'll put the links to a lot of the stuff that I use in the description of the video. And then, as always, you just got to have fun. Okay, so I'm going to go through a simple, like kind of 1, 2, 3 of the materials that I use for pretty much all the painting I've been doing lately, the past couple years. And I'll put all the links to the description in the description. The links in the description to the products that I use and where I get them. You can find them at different places, various outlets, but I'll just tell you where I get them. And let's start out with the main one, and that is the GROG squeezer. So that's the GROG squeezer. This comes in 3 different sizes: 20 millimeter, 10 millimeter, and 5 millimeter. And I do want to preface that these are very, well, I'll just say the word toxic. They're not recommended for children. Definitely not high school or above, you know, and if anyone's using them that is a minor, I would recommend adult supervision. once again, this is just what I use, not recommending them for kids. But before I even start painting, I go right onto a piece of cardboard and kind of prime the pen up and make sure that it's got enough ink in the tip. Okay. We'll work over here on this sheet. Okay, so what I want to show you is that you have to push on these pens to release the ink. You push too hard, you can get runs. You don't push hard enough, it's going to drag dry. So that's the 20. Add a little something right there. Then I primarily just use the 20 and the 10. Sometimes I'll use a 5, but here's the 10. So with the 10, once again, I'm going to just doing a quick prep, I'm getting runny lines. So if you don't mind that, you don't need to prep it, but I like to prep it. So we'll put my favorite hat on this dude. Put a cowboy hat on the 10 there. We'll put him in a t-shirt. And we'll give him some teeth. Okay, from an art tip standpoint, you can see the variance. I'm big on varying line thickness, and this is one way to do it, is to use a thinner marker. And last but not least, we'll use the 5. And I'm not going to prep this one. I'm going to go straight onto the artboard and see what happens. I don't even know what we need to do here. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll use this 5 for my signature. There we go. So these are the 3 pens that I use, and I will talk briefly about the paper. The paper that I use is, let me pull it out for you real quick. So the paper I use is a high quality professional paper, 36 inches wide, comes on a 100-foot roll. And I get it from a professional paper supplier. You can't get it like at a warehouse. You can't get it at your local stores. You have to go to a paper specialty store, and not like a paper specialty store that sells envelopes and greeting cards, but like a commercial paper company. And that's what I use. It's quite expensive for a 100-foot roll. If you want to start painting big, I use this stuff all the time for the stuff I don't sell. When I just want to practice or put a bunch of new stuff down, mess around. This is a 36-inch by 1,000-foot roll. And you can see it's just as big as the high-quality paper. It's just a little thinner. And you can get that at link in the description. I get that through Amazon from a supplier, so you can check that out too. Okay, so another thing I want to show you is the beauty of these pens is they're refillable. I buy an empty GROG squeezer, or I buy it in the color that I'm going to refill it in, and these are replaceable. These wear out pretty quick, way quicker than you would think. So if you do try these out, you're going to want to order a couple of these extras. And you can see here's my old original, and I would just take the cap off, and when it runs out, I would buy some refillable ink. Pour that in there. Like I said, we're not going to do that demo because that gets messy. Lots of rubber gloves. Okay, the next pen I'm going to show you is called a Posca. That's the brand, and it comes in multiple thicknesses. You can find these all over the web and the internet in different thicknesses, colors, sizes. So I'm not going to go over that right now. I use these all the time also. I use these for like painting surfboards or bike helmets or even automobiles. I painted my car using this very pen. So let me give you a little demo of these. Oh, and the beauty is they're water soluble, they're safe, they're any age can use, they're not toxic, and yeah, they clean up a lot easier, and they don't smell. Okay, we'll make our little chicken dude right here. We'll give this guy a different kind of hat. And like I said, these come in different thicknesses. Doing a different thickness here just to kind of show you. I don't know that I would do that in that thickness. We'll just kind of add a bunch of detail here just to show you. There we go. A little highlight there. Okay. And then we'll sign it with the thinnest. Okay. Once again, this is not a pen demo as much as just an equipment demo showing you the stuff for you to try. And so yeah, try out all this stuff. It's all refillable. Everything I've gone over today, you can buy refill inks for it and fill them up so that you're not buying new pens every time you run out. I hope you get a chance to try some of these. I hope you get to have fun. And yeah, like I always say, remember, the pen doesn't make the art. You make the art.